The first one you'll notice when you look at your Google Classroom is that there's a circle in the lower right hand corner with a white plus symbol in the middle of it. So let's click on that and see where that takes us. The new interface that we have is we can reuse a post and create a question. So those top two items are completely new to the Google Classroom experience. The creating an assignment and creating an announcement, I'm going to assume that you're a pro at those by now, because the only difference with creating an assignment and creating an announcement are that they're no longer in this section here, but you can access that feature by clicking on creating an announcement and creating an assignment. What's new is that you can reuse a post from a previous class. I believe that this includes the archived classes, and yes, it does in fact include my archived classes. So all the classes I've already used, let's say for instance I find an item that I would like to reuse from a previous class with my current class. I select the previous class I would like to reuse a post from, select, and I am going to post or reuse, if you will, an idea or a tip from a previous teacher workshop. One of the other options is that I can create new copies of all attachments. Since there are no attachments with this one, I'm not worried about it creating new attachments for me. So I'm going to reuse it. It's going to put it in an edit screen instead of just automatically uploading it right into my classroom. I can now take that old post and assign it to my current classes from an archived class. For this purpose, I'm just going to keep it in this single class. As with the previous announcements, I can upload a file to attach. I can attach a Google Drive item. I can add a YouTube video to my announcement, or I can attach a link to my YouTube announcement. One of the features that was updated before the school term ended last year is that the items can be saved as a draft or posted immediately. So for those of you who like to plan ahead, you can save your drafts. And for those of you who want to do it on the fly, you simply click on post, and your item will automatically appear in your classroom stream. Now let's say for instance you've posted some of your streams and you got a little post happy in class one day and you have 3 posts in a row. One of the newer features in the Google Classroom experience is that you can now take a post from way down here on the bottom, and there's a new option here on the 3 buttons on the side, and that is move to the top, edit, or delete. Edit and delete remain the same. I can edit my post or I can delete it. Now I can move it to the top of the stream. Let's take a look at what happens. That post that was at the very bottom of my stream is now at the top of my stream. And it doesn't matter if it's ask a question, a reused post, an announcement, or an assignment. I can bring it to the top of the screen so that when my students go into my classroom as a student, they will now see that assignment move to the top. This is especially helpful when you have a long-term project and things go on in the classroom on a daily basis and they keep working their way back down. Now I can bring it back up to the top of the post. We've already looked at reuse a post. The next item that's new on the list to look at today is create a question. So we're going to create our first question, and it's simply going to be done by, okay, so I've created my first question. My question is to ask my students to respond to let me know that they have read the syllabus for the class. And if they have any questions, they can post those questions here. Now, in this item, I'm going to select post, or I can select ask. In this situation, because it will benefit my students and their classmates, I want them to see and reply to each other's answers. I will also allow them to edit their answers. I'm going to select ask, and now my students will see in their stream a question presented by Miss Eden at 8:05, and my question to my students is, greetings, please respond that you have read your class syllabus and use this stream to post questions. So I have no students in my class, so unfortunately, one thing I'd like you to note when you're creating your in-class questions, there is a separate option to allow the students to add a class comment this is overridden, especially if you have only the teacher can post or comment. I have this selected, but within the stream, when they're using the question format, the students are able, for that question only, to respond and add a class comment if, when I created that question, I gave the students the option to change the question. That's all I have for you today on reusing posts, creating questions, creating assignments, and creating announcements in the new Google Classroom interface. Stay tuned and thank you for watching.